Okay. One of the guys, he had something on him. So when they searched him, they immediately took him, put him in the cop car. I was like, oh. Um, the rest of us didn't have shit that they found on us. They asked who the room's, whose name is the room in, and I told them it was my friend. They told me to get him on the phone so they could get permission or not permission to search the room. So I'm telling, my friend, I'm like, ah, these people here, the fuck cops are here, and whatever, whatever. And I was like, call this number. Like, he gave me a cell phone number to give my friend. So I gave it to my friend, and he's calling like he was supposed to. To tell them that he doesn't feel comfortable with them searching the room with he's not there. Like, there's no reason for this. Um, and the cops, mind you, say that they're there because somebody dropped drugs in that hallway in a hotel, of that hotel. Drugs were found in the hallway the night before, a little bag of drugs. So out of the whole entire place, like, you want to come in this room for what? Um, and my friend, he's calling, and we're all on the floor, sitting in the floor in the hallway, and the cop's cell phone's ringing, and I'm like, are you gonna get that? Like, are you gonna answer that? That's my friend. He was like, am I gonna answer what? Like, really? That you just said to call? Like, he did not answer that phone. Um, they waited for the cop or for the judge to go ahead and give consent to search. They had put the guys back in a cop car together, and they put me in a cop car by myself. Um, at this point, I'm pissed because, like, fucking y'all are being ridiculous. And I have my phone and I go live, Facebook Live, just to let people know where I'm at, what's going on, and shit like that. Um, and because they were on bullshit. They searched the room for a very long time. I wasn't worried because the room's not in nobody's name, first of all. And nothing was found on us. So, what are you going to do with it? Anything that you do find? I mean, I could definitely see, common nuisance, visiting a common nuisance, whatever. There's nothing else you can hit me with. So I see the cops come out a while later. Like, I'm acting like I'm asleep by this point. Like, my phone died. So I was not on Facebook Live anymore. And I'm listening to what they're saying. They're standing next to the car. And we're talking about the water, the bong water. Well, it had been pink lemonade inside of it instead of water. And, like, they're like, I just remember this. It was hilarious. Like, they're sitting there talking about, oh my God, it's meth because it's pink. The water's pink because it's meth. I'm like, you guys are idiots. Like, but whatever. You guys can say whatever. Whatever you like. Go ahead and think that. So I see them, like, go let the guys out of the back of that car, and they let them go. And I'm expecting them to come do the same for me. And they didn't. They came to the car and they got me out, and one of them, like, real attitude. I mean, they didn't like me in the first place, but he, like, takes the phone from my hand and he's like, this isn't coming, or this is coming with me, it's not going with you. And he does something with it, who knows what. And they're like, you're under arrest. And I was like, for what? Like, what the fuck? They were like, well, said something about a gun. Okay, which I knew there was no gun in there. Like, pretty much knew, somebody had it and, like, stashed it right before, like, they left. But and they said possession of meth. And I was like, what? Like, you guys searched me? I don't have nothing on me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, and basically, there was bong water is what they were saying the meth was in, which it was lemonade, and they were taking me to jail for it. I was like, the room's not in my name. What the fuck do you think you're doing? And so the story goes. As the cop was putting me back in the car with my handcuffs on, he was like, those cameras that are in the back of the cop cars, for your protection? And I was like, yeah, what about it? He was like, yours don't work today. I was like, okay, I see. I'm playing this game with you, all right. He's a piece of shit dude. I don't even know his name. I should probably get it though. Anyways, I got there to the jail and I bonded out. It's $500. My dad got me. And I had a possession of methamphetamine. Now, And I haven't been in trouble in so long. Like, I did a lot of years in prison, and I'd been out of trouble since I've been off probation. You know, like I wasn't didn't stay in trouble. That's just not what I was doing. So I was definitely like pissed and like not used to it. Um, but you know, in order to get what I had in my phone, they had to have, you know, a charge that was big enough to actually take me to jail on, and big enough to actually be able to confiscate the phone, which they didn't give back for a very long time. But I was only missing a couple things that I was trying to not miss, that I know of whenever I did get it back. And that case ended up it was bullshit in the first place. But like, they didn't even have my court date there when I was, you know, ready to go to court, and like charges weren't there. I'm like, of course they're not there. They're bogus. They can't charge me with that shit. So a little bit of time goes by, and all of a sudden I got a warrant. Why? Well, because they brought those cases up and they charged me only with possession of meth. The other stuff disappeared. And they did it and didn't tell me about it, and I had court and I didn't know, and so then I had warrants, and then I had to get a lawyer, and whatever. I was going through this, I was fighting it, and you know, they didn't have shit, and I was gonna take it to fucking trial. Like, I should have did that. Like, I'm kicking myself in the ass. Like, anybody that can take shit to trial, take it to trial. I don't care how little it is. Like, come on, just do it. But I was, you know, living up north at that point, and I got so sick of driving back and forth from, you know, the Valparaiso area back to Lafayette and back and forth and shit like that. So after I went to court a couple times, like, they came at me with a diversion agreement, and I was pissed because I'm like, my lawyer, I'm like, come on now. Like, all they wanted was 8 hours community service. Why? Because they didn't have a case. Should I took it to trial? Hell yes. Did I? No. I was stupid. I was like, fine, fuck it. Like, I will go ahead and sign it. Like, that's all. Like, I can't believe that they're not going to drop that. And so I signed it, and the day that I signed it, like, my stuff was done. I turned in my papers, and, you know, wanted my phone and my money back that they took. And they fought me still. Like, my case is done. I've been sentenced, and I did everything I was supposed to do. You guys still don't want to give me my property back. What the fuck? Because I don't believe they still had my phone. I think that somebody else had my phone, and then they had to get it back. But my lawyer took like a couple times in court to actually get them to release that stuff, and then I was able to go get it. But that case, you know, I ended up getting in trouble like a month later, on some other shit that I actually got told on. It was crazy. Like, I'm sure you guys know about it. But because of this case, like, that case PTR'd this case, and now I've got a mess on my fucking hands, and it's ridiculous. It shouldn't be there in the first place, and bam, it's there. So anyways, I will tell you guys about the text messages that I'm going to be posting for everybody's to pick through and do what they want with, from who knows who. That's, everybody can, you know, figure that out for themselves and make their own opinions. But definitely, it involves the whole community, and it's very, very disturbing. And I don't get disturbed by much of anything. So, yeah, definitely just take a look at it. I'm actually, you know, I'm sure you know already, the video of me and the judge. Who is he? Curtis Fouts in Delphi. Curtis Fouts in Delphi. Special lawyer still in Lafayette, and professor at Purdue. There's been a few girls come forward to somebody that I know, and they had very disturbing stories about him. I haven't heard anything good about him. And it just makes me wonder, like, how many girls at Purdue wanted better grades that he's, you know, sexually fucked with? How many? Because there's quite a few from the courthouse, like from being in court, things of that nature, that are going to be surfacing. And yeah, things are happening with him. Don't worry. Curtis Fouts. I told you I'd find you. Just took me a lot longer than expected. And politics are dirty as fuck, you guys. People cover up for people and cover up for people, and like, of course they're going to. That's what it's supposed to be. Like, it's life. But I never realized how like deep it got whenever it comes to the fact that these people, they've got a lot to lose, and they're in very, powerful situations. Sometimes their positions are powerful. That's dangerous to have power friended with power, trying to cover something up, because they can do what they want pretty much and never worry about getting caught. And in the big scheme of things, who am I? Who is any of us? Nothing, no one. We're all expendable. I could disappear today and it would save a couple people their entire life's work, and they wouldn't lose everything they've ever fought for. And I'm just an escort. Really. I'm nobody. I would be not thought about after a couple days. Think about it. I would probably want to kill me if I was in their situation and I was about to lose everything I ever fought for. And all that was standing in that, in the way was some girl. Who is she? What's she doing? Nothing. Right? Wrong. Checkmate.